Greetings gastronauts, this is KeefCooks, I'm Keef, and today I'm going to make a pie. A leek and potato pie. Yum yum. So, as it happens, it's another vegetarian recipe. Don't worry, I'm not becoming a vegetarian. It's just we've got a load of leeks and they need to be used up, so... and I've done a cock-a-leeky soup, although I actually quite fancy some of that. Anyway, that's for another day. If you enjoy this video, give it a like, share, subscribe, etc. And let's get on with it. Leek and potato pie. I'm going to make the filling first, so I've got some leeks and some potatoes, about 450 grams of each of those. And then a small onion, I'll actually use half of that, and a small carrot, a teaspoon of thyme, and a teaspoon of sage, or, well, for an experiment, I bought this a year ago, winter savoury herb, because I was doing a Newfoundland dish that required it, or that used it. So that's the only time I've used this stuff. And also for the sauce, we'll be making a roux, so you need some butter and some flour, about 50 grams of each. Okay, let's chop these up. Get half the onion and chop it finely. Actually, I'm doing this wrong. I should do the potatoes first, because they need to be boiled separately before we add them to the filling. Just peel them and then cut them into dice about 1 centimetre, about half an inch. Now we'll add these to a pan of salted water, put it on the stove, bring it to the boil, and then simmer the potatoes until they're tender, which will probably take about 10 minutes. Now I need to dice the carrot small as well, like the onion. Now we need to melt a knob of butter in a heavy bottom pan and then add the finely diced onion and carrot. Get that all coated in butter, turn down the heat as low as it'll go and put a lid on it and just let it sweat for about 10 minutes. So it should be softened but not at all brown. Now top and tail the leeks, removing this outer layer because it's a bit dry, and then slice it. Right, the spuds are done, so I've just drained them in a colander and set that on top of the pan that they were cooked in. And actually I think that's plenty of leeks, so I'll save that for something else. Cock-a-leeky soup, possibly. Now the sweated vegetables are done, so remove those from the pan for now and start making a sauce. Now we'll melt some more butter in the heavy bottom pan and then stir in the same quantity of flour. And when that's formed a smooth paste, you can add the milk. Let that heat up and thicken, and then add the onion, the carrots, the leeks, and the potatoes. And the thyme and the savoury. And then give it a taste and add salt and pepper if you think it needs it. Let that cook for about another 5 minutes, and then remove it from the heat and let it cool down. Okay, I'm going to make 2 pies actually in these Fray Bentos tins, which are a nice size for a pretty big pie for a very hungry person, or a decent one cut in half for 2 people. And for the pastry I'm making a short crust, so I've got 400 grams of plain all-purpose flour, 200 grams of butter, and about ½ teaspoon of salt, and just enough cold water to bring it together in a bowl. Okay, so I'll just stir the salt in with the flour. I'm going to try to grate the butter in because it's, well, it's been in the fridge, so it's cold. I think this will work. Ow! Quite wonderfully, and that was my thumb that I just grated. And now rub it in with your fingertips till you get a mixture that looks like coarse sand. Okay, something like that. Doesn't really matter if you've got a few bigger blobs. Now we need to add water, just enough to make it come together in a ball. So just steadily add a bit, stir it in, add a bit more until we get there. So I started off with 200 ml of water. Shouldn't need to use all that. Well, there you go. I was wrong. I needed all that. Now I'm going to wrap it in plastic film and put it in the fridge to rest for half an hour. Right, time to assemble the pies. So you want a bit of flour on your worktop. And this will be the lid. So roll it out quite thin, about 4 or 5 mil, a quarter of an inch. And then cut around the tin, just leaving a little bit of a margin there. Now roll out a bigger disc for a base, and then just press that down gently, trim off the excess. Now we need to fill them with filling. Quite a bit left over. Hey-ho. Now moisten the edge of the bases with water and pop a lid on. Press it down all the way around to seal it. So I've got 1 egg and a splash of milk. Mix those together. And paint it on top of the pie. Now you want to heat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius for a fan oven, convection oven or air fryer oven. That's 200 for a conventional one, and that's gas 6. And I'm going to try a little experiment. Pie recipes usually tell you to make a hole in the top to let steam out. And I don't always do that, and it doesn't seem to make any difference. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to snip the top of this. It's a bit messy, and not do the other one, and then we'll see what difference it makes. So these want to go in for 25 to 30 minutes, and I'll turn them around halfway through. I think the little experiment was a bit pointless because this one is just split all the way anyway, and so is this one up to a point. But the filling hasn't leaked out, so that's okay. I'll let those cool down a bit, get them out of the tin, and then we'll do a taste test. This is a bit worrying. I don't think that's gonna happen, so basically we'll have to eat it out of the tin. Woohoo! Not the neatest looking presentation, but it smells incredible. Alright, time for a taste test. What can I say? Nice crispy pastry on top, wonderful tasty filling in the middle, and probably a bit of a soggy bottom, which I'm always quite keen on. So that is a marvellous pie, and you really should give it a go. And thanks for watching, and see you next time.